World leaders gather in New York for their annual UN meetings that promise a busy agenda amid numerous ongoing conflicts. The talks follow increase in nuclear and ballistic missile activity from North Korea and a growing humanitarian crisis in Myanmar. VOA's Margaret Bashir reports that leaders will also be eager to hear what U.S. President Donald Trump says in his first UN speech.
2 weeks ago, North Korea conducted an underground nuclear test that brought it international condemnation and a new round of tough economic sanctions. On Friday, Pyongyang defiantly launched a missile over Japan into the Pacific Ocean for the second time in a month. What to do about Kim Jong-un and his nuclear ambitions will figure high in leaders' discussions, but a solution is unlikely.
There will be a lot of talk about North Korea at the UN, but the reality is that the only chance for a diplomatic breakthrough is in bilateral talks between Washington and Beijing away from UN diplomacy.
In Myanmar, also known as Burma, 400,000 minority Rohingya Muslims have fled a military crackdown seeking refuge in neighboring Bangladesh. Myanmar's de facto leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, is skipping the UN General Assembly amid criticism that she has not done more to stop the violence. But despite her absence, 2 high-level UN meetings are planned about the growing crisis. Leaders will also be trying to persuade President Trump not to withdraw from the 2015 deal to stop Iran from obtaining nuclear bombs. He has called the agreement terrible and threatened to tear it up.
I think this agreement is a very important agreement. I think that it contributed to an important de-escalation at that moment, and it is a factor of stability. And it's my opinion that all parties should do everything possible for this agreement to be preserved.
Leaders will also discuss Hurricane Irma, which devastated parts of the Caribbean and southern Florida. They will focus on the hurricane response and building communities that are more resilient to natural disasters and climate change. Some wonder if Irma and Hurricane Harvey, which flooded southeastern Texas, will convince President Trump to reverse his decision to pull the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Accord, which more than 190 other countries have signed on to.
He has made some hints that perhaps he won't withdraw after all. If he says anything like that in New York, that will be a big diplomatic win for him because other leaders will be charmed.
Some big names like Russian President Vladimir Putin, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and German Chancellor Angela Merkel will be absent from this year's General Assembly. For others, including President Trump and French President Emmanuel Macron, it will be their first time at the international gathering, and all eyes will be on them.